I'm out here in Jersey right now, just hanging out with the family. Got my cousins out here, throwing a little food on the grill and all that, you know. We out here, you know. It's your man Mark Fuller, FreeWorldOrder. I'll be back on a little later. Got some good content coming for y'all. Deuce. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Another Facebook Live. Mark Fuller, FreeWorldOrder. I'm hanging out with my family today, but I popped on anyway here just to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk briefly about jobs in this system. Something very interesting that I was giving some thought to. You know, a system that is in place that everyone is using should be able to accommodate everyone involved in that system. And our current social and monetary system seems to get a pass where, people end up saying, well, that's just the way things are. And, there's nothing we can do about that. Or, well, it is what it is. And I think that this is wrong. Why can't the system provide a job for everyone who wants one? This is something that I think about all the time, because so often I see people that are out of work, looking for a job. They might have recently lost their job. Some people may have been looking for work for quite some time. There are some people that are willing and able to work and literally cannot find a job because there are not enough jobs available for all of the people who need one under this current system. And you have to question the system that we're using and challenge those who run the system to offer an explanation of why. Because first, people are saying, oh, well, this is a democracy. We vote on it and we decide things that take place within our social system and within our society. That's a lie, because none of you voted for Trump recently to drop bombs near North Korea to test out missiles. None of us voted for that, did we? No. Oh, well, those decisions are made by the highest or the most informed people in our government, the smartest people in our government. It's not too smart to do certain things. So are you telling me that you're voting for people that you deem to be smart and you deem to represent the most intelligent people that we can have out of our land to run things, and these people make decisions that are not in the best interest of the citizens at all? Just like with the recent hurricane, I believe that Trump voted for something, not voted, but he instituted some type of policy that would prohibit people from being able to collect benefits as a result of the floods from Hurricane Harvey. And he did that days before the actual hurricane hit, meaning that it will now become either more difficult or impossible for people to collect any type of benefit to pay for the rebuilding of their property or their homes once the floods recede, and once, it's time to begin rebuilding where all of this damage took place. Did any of you guys vote for that? I don't think so. So how is this a democracy? You don't vote for anything. Then I hear people say things like, well, it's the free market system. It's free enterprise. Okay. So that means that corporations are the ones providing jobs, right? Well, isn't the government a corporation? So what government jobs do, or, is the government making available for people where someone can earn a decent living and live decently, not live below or at the poverty line, but live a decent life? People have children. People, need health care. All of these things in place don't make it easier for people to obtain any of the above. They make it very difficult for you to get insurance coverage. And when you do get insurance coverage, it's very expensive now. Even if you are tapping into the system as far as public assistance, they make that difficult for people to get access to. I don't even want to talk about child support. If you're a man, it's basically a crime for you not to pay child support, regardless of whether or not you are in position to provide for your children financially. You may have a family outside of your actual children that you have to pay child support for, but that doesn't matter. If you don't pay, they can lock you up, just like they did Zab Judah. Zab Judah is a boxer from Brooklyn. I don't think that he's had a fight in quite some time. They locked him up for not paying, or for owing, I think, about $100,000 in child support. So the judge determines how much you have to pay in child support, and then they'll also lock you up if you don't pay. They don't consider whether or not you're in position to pay. They don't consider whether or not you have money for yourself to live. All they care about is money going to the mother of your child or your children to be able to pay for those children to live if they don't live with you, if you're not together with your baby mama, right? And I'm just going through different things and through different aspects of this. In this video, I'm focusing on the job situation. So again, I'm questioning, why don't they make it possible for everyone who wants a job to get a job? Under no circumstance should there be a situation where a person cannot obtain a job. Yet that's a situation that we have. So when you see people end up doing something that lands them in prison, you can somewhat attribute that to the fact that, well, maybe they haven't been able to get employment, so they may do something that can put them in jail, regardless of what it is. I'm not even identifying the different types of crimes that people do out of desperation, but I'm just saying this is the society that we are living in. So when you're looking at people, you're passing judgment on them, not considering what their personal situation is as a result of the system that we're living in. You have your job, you have your career, you're able to pay all of your bills. You really are not concerned with the way that the rest of society is carrying on or able to get through the system. But you should be, because the same people that are being manipulated by the system are the same ones who could end up being that person that you run into one day that might want to rob you, that might want to take what you have. And I'm just saying, it's a product of the environment that's being created by the system. All of these elements and different pieces that come together People do things out of desperation many times. People do things out of the lack of opportunity, or out of the lack of being unable to get a job. As simple as that. So many people will pass judgment because they're looking at people like, well, I see you out here running around in these streets doing what you're doing. I don't understand. Why won't you just get a job? Maybe they've tried to get a job to no avail. Maybe a job is not enough to, allow them to support their family. Maybe they go job to job looking for a way to make more money. I know plenty of people that got 3-4 jobs, still ain't enough money. Still not enough. What's going on with this thing here? People with multiple jobs still ain't enough. So, I mean, what do you do in these instances? What are people supposed to do in these instances? People end up always doing what they have to do, right? That becomes the norm. That becomes a regular thing for, people to say, well, I'm out here doing what I got to do. Of course you're doing what you got to do because you're alive. You still got to eat. Your children still got to eat. You still got to function and do everything that needs to be done on a daily basis. Stuff don't stop just because you can't find work. Stuff doesn't stop because you can't find a decent job. And these jobs, I'm like, where are all these jobs that they say that they're creating every month? Hundreds of thousands of jobs. Where? Where are these jobs? And one of the things that I hear people say to people looking for work, well, you haven't looked hard enough. It shouldn't be that hard. That's the point I'm trying to make. It shouldn't be that difficult for someone to be able to find work. Work used to be, once upon a time, a man was able to go out, till his land and till his crops, grow his own vegetables, farm his animals to be able to produce food to feed his family. We don't live in that type of society anymore. We're not in that paradigm anymore. Today, a man may or may not be able to position himself in the society that we're living in. It all depends. There's a lot of things that have to be considered as far as actually being able to position yourself. The decisions that you end up making. What type of decisions have you made? As far as career-wise, did you position yourself early when there was an opportunity in the stock market or some type of investing? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Many times your position might have been contingent upon, how well you positioned yourself as far as when you came out of school. A lot of people I know went to college, and because they were in college, they don't have work experience. So when they come out of college, a lot of employees are asking, well, what type of skills do you have? I don't have any skills. I was in school. I was in college. I have book knowledge. What skills am I supposed to have? I haven't worked at all yet. I was in college. It's really stupidity at its finest. And again, the system, the government, whatever you want to call it, is unable to provide everyone with a job that will provide for them a standard of living within this paradigm, within this system that we're living in. Why are you not able to do that? Why is the system not able to provide that for everyone who wants it? Because if you had that, if everyone was able to work on a job and earn enough money to pay for all of the basic essential needs that people have to pay for. I'm not talking about living in a mansion. I'm just talking about living in an apartment. Living in an apartment big enough for you and your family size. You can't provide people with a job that is enough for one person, just the man of the house, to pay for those things. You can't provide that in the system. Oh, well, you got to go out and look for work. Listen, I don't want you guys missing the point that I'm making. The point I'm making is that these things should be a given if you want certain things to be in the society, like low crime, like less homelessness. I mean, I'm not going to say no homelessness, because God forbid I say no homelessness. No, you're going to have homeless people. Well, why? That means the system is not beneficial for everyone, is it? It's only benefiting some. Is that really what we want? The reason you have so much crime and you need so much police, speaking of which, the reason you need all of that is because the system is unable to provide a standard of living for everyone who wants to participate in the system. Period. And with that being the case, that means that the system is either working the way it was intended, or the system does not work at all. I would say that the system is working exactly the way it was intended to work. That's why they build prisons. That's why they have police. You see what I'm saying? Because they know where people are going to end up. Because people are not going to be able to survive in the paradigm that we're in. And I'm telling you guys, this is the direction of the free world order, is to move away from that. Because our planet is able to provide for every man, woman, and child on the earth in abundance, without you having to, fill out papers to try to get benefits, or fill out applications for jobs and all of this other nonsense that people have to go through just to be able to provide a standard of living that is decent for themselves and for their family. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And the direction that we're moving in now is backwards. And we need to be moving forward, because moving forward means to move away from what is causing all of the problems that we have today in society. It's caused by the system that we're using. It's not because people are evil. It's not because there's so many bad people out here. Oh, well, the devil is out, and the devil is, is getting into people's minds. It ain't that. It's not. It had nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with lazy people. It has nothing to do with bad people. What it is that we are living as a part of a system that works exactly the way it was intended to work. To keep people at the bottom, the majority, at the bottom of society, until they end up in a jail cell, or on the street, in a shelter, living hand to mouth, begging, panhandling, or committing suicide, having mental issues, using drugs, drinking alcohol. And look at how many things are in place to scoop you up when you get fucked up in life. You want to get away from it all. What do? You try to drink the pain away, smoke the pain away, shoot the pain away. People are popping prescription pills, getting high. Where does all of this shit come from? You're trying to escape reality, obviously. You're trying to get away from the reality that you have to live in every day, aren't you? Of course you are. That's the only reason why you're going to use drugs. Oh no, when people use drugs, they just want to get high. That's not true. What was the reason somebody used drugs for the first time? If you know beforehand that drugs are going to kill you, you're not in your right mind going to use drugs. If you know in advance that smoking will kill you, you're not going to smoke. You end up smoking as a result of the bullshit and the stress that this system gives you. You end up becoming an alcoholic as a result of all of the bullshit that you have to go through in life. Because your life is a reflection of the environment that we're living in this system. That's what it is. And I want people to dialogue with me about this, because this is a very serious discussion. We talking about mental health. We talking about alcoholism. Excuse me. We talking about people, drug addicts, crack addicts, cocaine. Percocet, Molly. All kind of marijuana sprayed with all kind of shit on it to get you extra high. People are trying to get away from the reality that we live in. You see what I'm saying? People won't do that if they are well fed, provided for, they're able to provide for their family. People don't do that. They don't do it then. But it is what it is. I just hope that these videos really will help to give you shit to think about. You, whoever's watching. And you guys need to support Free World Order because we're moving in the right direction. We're moving away from this bullshit system that is keeping the majority of people down and out. And you can't, and now, just look at shit. It doesn't have anything to do with color. It's not just black people. It's not just Latinos. You're seeing a lot of white people in the same situation and predicament. You're seeing a lot of people that you would have never thought would end up being where they are. And I'm trying to tell you, man, it's the system. But anyway, let me get off of this now. I apologize for the low light conditions, but it's really it's rainy out here today. But anyway, Mark Fuller, Free World Order. You guys make sure that you support us. Get yourself a monthly contribution plan. Start with $1, $5, $10, $25 a month, $50 a month. Those monthly contributions are going to add up. You already know my goal is to raise $1 billion. We want to build the first city using the concept of the Venus Project, which is a resource-based economy. No more money, no more people living hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck. We got the technology, we have the science, and we have the ability to produce abundantly for every person on our planet. And we need to do it, and we need to do it ASAP. ASAP. Because this shit has got to go. But anyway, Mark Fuller, Free World Order. Make sure that you support us. Go to thevenusproject.com and look into the concepts of the Venus Project. You guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. It may look a little futuristic and Star Trek-ish to a lot of people, but you got to realize that what we're talking about is being able to provide for every person using energy that does not go away. Energy that we already have, we should be using. Right now, geothermal energy alone. There's a volcano somewhere in Hawaii, I believe. One volcano has enough heat that could power the entire planet for millions of years from one volcano. And there's about 500 different sources that we can tap into on the planet that we know of. But we still using oil, gasoline every day, polluting the environment, killing the ocean life, destroying the ecosystem around us. It's stupid. It's really stupid. I hope you guys really start waking up. Stay tuned, to these videos. The Facebook Lives are going to start soon. This is actually a Facebook Live, but I'm just recording. I haven't even promoted the Free World Order Facebook page yet. The YouTube channel, that's already up. So these videos I throw on there every day. And we're just going to keep moving that like that. Moving in the right direction. I want y'all to dialogue. Put some comments down below. If you see this on Facebook, the link to support us is underneath the video. If it's on YouTube, it'll be in the description box of the video. Alright, I'm out. Mark Fuller. Deuce! Free World Order, baby. Peace.